It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan.
You're currently stuck in a loan or lease. AJ the Trade Man can get you released. Matt Blatt Nissan.com. It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan on the Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
When you hear this,
they've got him again,
and this,
he scored,
and this,
oh boy, what a move by Embiid!
You think of us. We are sports. 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Blatt Kia Studios.
What a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
Eagles game day is tonight. 97.3 ESPN, your home for Eagles football in South Jersey. Mel Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action. Of course, coverage begins at 7 p.m. tonight. Kickoff after 8 right here on 97.3 ESPN. Eagles home opener. We will break down this hour our keys to Eagles versus Vikings. Plus, we will hear from you guys at 609-403-0973. Your predictions for the game. What do you think the final score is going to be? How do you think the game is going to play out? Let me know. I want to hear from you. Text board 609-403-0973. Also, your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. All right. Let's dig deep, first of all, into the tangibles, what we already know. Tonight is going to be a different game, in my opinion, than last year. And why do I say that? Because what I know is that the people involved in this game, coaching-wise, are not the same. The people involved in this game are not the same coaches. Maybe the same two head coaches, but this year the Eagles are going against a different Vikings defense. Brian Flores calls a different scheme than Ed Donatel. It's just a fact of life. Donatel, even though last year's Eagles game aesthetically was not the prettiest game in the world, you could argue that the Eagles were still kind of finding themselves early in the season last year. On a short week, it's hard to ask defensive players to be at 100% when they're already injured. And considering that one of the Vikings' primary pass rushers is coming into the game as questionable, he has not been ruled out officially as of yet. I'm double checking that as we go on this hour. We should have the inactives soon. But the idea being that you look at the Eagles and the Vikings. Eagles, new defensive coordinator. Vikings, new defensive coordinator. Keep in mind that typically week 2 and week 3 are the first times we see teams make real adjustments. Just because the Vikings defense held the Buccaneers to 20 points last week does not mean they're holding the Eagles, who have a better quarterback, a better offensive line, better pretty much everything offensively. I mean, if you want to say that they're maybe the Bucs' number one receiver, Mike Evans, is as good as A.J. Brown, if you want to say that, I'll give that to you. But all in all, the Eagles are the better offense. And now the Eagles had multiple days, to look at the film and say, all right, this is what Brian Flores did in game 1. And Brian Flores is now going to have to turn to his guys and explain to them why the Eagles scoring 25 points on Sunday evening is not what they're going to be able to do potentially on Thursday night. Because for as good as the Vikings looked defensively in game 1, this is in Philadelphia. This is on the road. And Brian Flores is now going to have to get his guys ready to go against the Eagles team. The Eagles know who they are. This is not like last year where we had all these questions about who is Jalen Hurts, what can he be, et cetera, et cetera. This is an Eagles team that knows who they are. And frankly, if they would have executed better on Sunday, they probably should have run away from the Patriots on Sunday afternoon. Now, of course, it's also Brian Flores versus Brian Johnson. And I have to think Brian Johnson, who is a student of the game, is coming into this situation saying, all right, this is what happened last week against Bill Belichick. Here's what I'm not going to repeat. Here are the mistakes that I made that I'm not going to do again. I think that's a huge part of this game plan. Because anyone in professional sports, anyone who says, I'm the kind of person where I take pride in my work, we know without a shadow of a doubt that people have pride in their work, try to get better every single day, every single week, every single opportunity they have to do what they do best. And I have to think that Brian Johnson is going to have a better game plan for this Thursday night than he did on Sunday. And I have to think Jalen Hurts, with the pride that he has, is going to want to play better than they did on Sunday. Now, the big problem for the Vikings is they have injuries on their offensive line. And I've heard different perspectives on the situation with the center Bradbury being out. And I'm not going to dig into the minutia with that because, frankly, I'm no expert on the Vikings center situation. But here's what I do know. Christian Darrisaw, he was listed as questionable this week. Darrisaw is arguably one of the most important offensive linemen for a Vikings group that has a lot of limitations. And I have a ton more confidence in the Eagles' defensive line than the Vikings' defensive line in this game and their offensive line. I think that is one of my biggest keys to the game tonight. Whoever wins in the trenches. Because for years, well, at least in recent years, the Vikings' offensive line has, well, not been good. There was a time that the Vikings did have a really good offensive line. You know, years ago when they had guys like Brian McKinney and Steve Hutchinson up there, you know, guys like Matt Burke playing center, they were a team that you looked at the trenches and you're like, wow, that team is formidable. In today's NFL, you don't look at that team that way anymore. And so as I look ahead to this game tonight, if the Eagles defense is unable to execute at a high level, I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of questions. This Eagles team against a Patriots team that had an entire offseason to prepare for them. An entire offseason. They prepared for the Eagles. They knew who they were. They knew what they were doing. They had it all figured out. So you're telling me that Patriots team got 17 quarterback hurries against them. And I'm supposed to believe that the Vikings are going to do a better job than the Patriots? I'm sorry. No offense to the Vikings coaching staff. I don't care that Kevin O'Connell is a former quarterback and he's a longtime coach in this league. I don't care that their offensive coordinator is Wes Phillips. I don't care that their coaching staff has the experience of coaching in the NFL that they do. I know for a fact that this Vikings team should not be able to stop the Eagles' defensive line consistently. You got 17 quarterback hurries last game, just days ago. What are the Vikings going to do that's going to neutralize the Eagles' pass rush for every single down? They're not going to be able to do it. Now, the weapon that the Vikings do have is TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne. they could get into a situation where they tell Kirk Cousins, don't hold the ball. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, the ball has to be out of your hands immediately. Short passing game can neutralize the Eagles' pass rush. But are we really confident that the Vikings will be able to do that every single down? Mac Jones picked apart the Eagles' defense at times. Why? Because of the soft zones. If Sean Desai is as good of a coach as everyone says he is, he will make that adjustment. He will not let the Eagles just be in a soft zone all game. Josh Jobe showed you in college that he can play with some of the best receivers on planet Earth. You can't sit there and worry about him the entire game. You got to execute your game plan. You put these guys on the field for a reason. You got to ask them to do their job. You got to ask them to do it at the level of expectation for those players. And to me, okay, Reed Blankenship is not out there. How are you going to adjust? How are you going to do things differently? Because you're going to have to, or TJ Hawkinson is going to have the game of his life tonight. Josh Hennig here on Game Night, 97.3 ESPN FM and 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle. I'll get to your text in just a moment at 609-403-0973. I love the text from Dan HD, where he says, I'm so glad it's Eagles only tonight. I can sit and watch another Phillies game without the Eagles. We all need a Phillies day off anyway. Fans and players, go Birds. We need fly, Eagles fly tonight. Yeah, there's a lot of Philly fans who are frustrated, but I'll tell you, Philly fans, we've been saying for months here on 97.3 ESPN that the Braves are the best team in the National League. Why should we be surprised that they beat you 3 out of 4 games? And by the way, winning in the regular season is no guarantee of winning in the postseason. So you don't think that the Phillies put that on the scoreboard after the game, congratulating the Braves on winning the division, was by accident? No, of course not. That was gamesmanship. That was an excellent manipulation by the Phillies to make it look like they were happy for the Braves. They could care less if the Braves win the division. Phillies could go to the playoffs. They'll have to face the Braves again there, whether it's in the second round or the league championship series. Back to the text board, 609-403-0973. Steve in Ventnor chimes in and says, 31-24 Birds, exclamation point. All right, Steve, I see you. Putting out your prediction out there. I'll give my prediction for the game a little bit later, but I think in Steve's mind, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Steve and Ventnor. It sounds like to me that you feel like I do that this could be some points scored tonight. I mean, in that case, I tend to agree with you. I think that this is a game where I would assume that the Eagles go out there and are able to score points and so are the Vikings. That's kind of what my point is. I just don't see a scenario where Brian Flores and Sean Desai are both going to be able to hold these teams in check for an entire game. And I think the better offense will eventually prevail in this game. I think that's the Eagles' offense. Now, it's not saying the Vikings are not high powered. They are. They can score points. They have the talent to they're going to have the talent to score points as well. So, yeah, it's a very interesting prediction there by Steve. By the way, that covers that's the spread. What's the spread? 6 right now. Steve's prediction is, that covers the spread too. So Steve's got the Eagles covering the spread and hitting the over. 609-403-0973. That's the text board. Diamondbacks fan Derek chimes. Hey, Josh, give me a prediction on who's going to win that third wild card spot. Well, Derek, let me pull up the current wild card standings. My current theory is that the wild card is probably going to be Phillies, Cubs, Diamondbacks. Let's see what the numbers are at this moment. Diamondbacks are half a game ahead of the Giants and the Reds, 1 game ahead of the Marlins. Let's see here. Who the Diamondbacks play down the stretch here? I think that would determine a lot of my opinion here. The Diamondbacks schedule memorized. I know they're playing the Mets right now. They play the Cubs 3 games. They play San Francisco 2 games. Then they're at the Yankees, at the White Sox, and home against Houston. Derek, you're basically hoping that some of these teams basically are mailing it in. I got to think the Cubs and the Giants are hunting for you right now. Now, who's starting some of those games? See, at least the good thing is for the 2 Giants games, you do have Gallen and Kelly starting. So at least you have a chance to, at worst, split those 2 games. The Cubs series is tough because you don't have either of your best pitchers going in that series, and you do have to face 2 of the Cubs' best pitchers. So I'm assuming in that 5 game stretch between the Cubs and the Giants, I mean, if you should be able to win at minimum 2 of the 5 games. You're hoping for 3 or 4 of the 5 games. Yankees, White Sox are winnable games. Astros, are they benching and sitting everybody or not? I would say that I'm going to assume that this final stretch is going to come down to the Diamondbacks or the Giants. I just don't see the way the Reds get in. I still don't believe in their pitching staff. I think the Reds, not just statistically, but like visually, have the worst pitching staff in all the National League. And so when I look at the Reds, I just don't see a way that they're going to actually overcome unless the Diamondbacks and the Giants both completely choke and collapse. Who the Reds got? The Reds got 3 games against the Mets. And then they have 3 against the Twins, 3 against the Pirates, 2 against Cleveland. Yeah, the problem for the Reds is that they don't have. So they kind of are like the Diamondbacks. They don't have a great stretch either. The difference for me, though, is that the Reds will only have 1.5 good pitchers. They're going to be going against a Twins team that's going to send out Maeda in a few days, and a Cleveland team that still has some very good pitching. So my gut instinct would be to say Diamondbacks, but it's either going to be Diamondbacks or Giants win the final wildcard spot. There you go. See, you send questions in the game night on 97.3 ESPN. I answer them for you. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on Eagles game day night. Eagles Vikings kickoff with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling the action later tonight after 8 p.m. here on 97.3 ESPN. I'll give you the rest of my keys to the Eagles game. Again, the first 2 keys. The first key of the game is whoever wins the trenches. And I tend to believe that when you talk about the Eagles, they got the better offensive line. They got the better defensive line. They should be able to control the pace of this game. And I don't see a scenario where the Vikings coaching staff is going to do any better than what the Patriots did this past Sunday. All right, so to come, my other 2 keys to the game, plus more your texts, more your predictions for Eagles Vikings tonight here on 97.3 ESPN FM. And you're listening on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle. Wherever you're listening to the show, thank you for listening to us. The Sports Bash with Mike Gill, Game Night with Josh Hennig, The Locker with Billy Schweim, all that and more. 97.3 ESPN, your home for Eagles football, the NFL, Sixers, Flyers, and college football in South Jersey.
Sunday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. It's an AFC playoff rematch in Week 2 as the Jaguars host the Chiefs. Hi, this is Chris Carino. Join Brian Baldinger and me in Jacksonville, where the upstart Jags, led by dynamic young quarterback Trevor Lawrence, try to outduel Patrick Mahomes and the defending Super Bowl champs. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
It's NFL Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 12:30.
Save thousands at Matt Blatt Kia. Get out of your old trade today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Go to mattblattkianj.com for more details. That's mattblattkianj.com.
It's gotta be a
Matt Blatt Kia.
After a big dinner, my nighttime heartburn would keep me up. I'd be taking antacid after antacid all night long. But then I tried Prilosec OTC. Just 1 pill a day blocks my frequent heartburn for a full 24 hours, giving me one-and-done heartburn relief. Without heartburn keeping me up, I can have a restful night's sleep.
Prilosec OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Next question. This place is known for its extraordinary financial services since 1902. Contestant 3?
Motion First Bank?
Oh, nice try. Sorry, everyone. The answer we were looking for is Ocean First Bank. Ocean First. But the good news is everyone goes home a winner with convenient access to deposit services, mortgage loans, business financing solutions, and digital banking options for business and personal accounts. Through local branches and online banking, your needs always come first at Ocean First Bank.
Now get 5.25% APY when you open a 6-month CD with at least $10,000 of new money to Ocean First. Learn more. Open yours with a local branch or at oceanfirst.com. Restrictions apply.
Equal housing lender, equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Every piece of land has a story. For the Nelsons, it's cruising around their Montana ranch on a John Deere Gator XUV 835R. With 3,000 acres, there's plenty of work to do.
We're not afraid to jump in and help each other out.
That's how they've kept their ranch going for 5 generations.
It's all about efficiency.
Like teaching visitors to fly fish.
The whole joy with fly fishing is matching the hatch.
Run with us on a Gator XUV 835R and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
Attention, Cumberland County businesses. Do you need new employees? Do you want to showcase your business to the public? Do you want to engage in valuable B2B networking? Then you need to join forces with the business community on Thursday, September 21st at the Cumberland County Business Expo and Job Fair. This event will be held from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Cumberland County Technical Education Center in Vineland. Build sales, recognition, relationships, and your workforce. Thousands of people expected to attend. Sign up as an exhibitor or sponsor by September 14th to take advantage of this opportunity. Visit CumberlandExpo.com. This event is hosted by the Bridgeton, Millville, and Vineland Chambers of Commerce, working together for a stronger Cumberland County economy. Co-sponsors of this event are PSEG Nuclear and Town Square Media. Showcase your business at the Cumberland County Business Expo. Register by September 14th for a lower fee at CumberlandExpo.com. The expo takes place at the Cumberland County Technical Education Center in Vineland on September 21st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
The NFL is here, and it's all about the sweet offers from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SNAP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SNAP only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Paid after portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
It's officially here. This week only, enjoy 50% off your purchase during our Friends and Family event at Banana Republic Factory. Explore limited time savings on the latest elevated styles online or at your nearest Banana Republic Factory store.
With GMF financing to qualified buyers, excludes Corvette, excludes fire sales.
In today's market,
So many dealers are selling at or even above MSRP.
But Bennett Chevrolet isn't like most dealers. We're still selling new vehicles at GM supplier employee prices. Yes, you pay what employees pay. We got famous selling new vehicles at GM supplier employee prices and by giving you all the rebates. That's right. Unlike other dealers at Bennett, you get both. And right now you'll save even more with available 0% financing. But wait, it gets better. Bennett is paying an incredible $8,000 minimum for any trade towards any pre-owned in stock. That's at least $8,000 for total junk. Imagine how much you'll get for a good trade. And our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not by trying to sell you more. So there's no pressure, haggles, or hassles. Just pure joy. So come on, find new roads at Bennett Chevrolet in Egg Harbor Township and BennettChevy.com.
You're listening to Night with Josh Hennig and the free mobile app.
Don't forget Game Night being brought to you by Jenkins and Sons. One call does it all. You don't need to call the drain guy, the heating guy, or the plumbing guy. Just call Jenkins at 609-641-6440. Are you ready for the fall and winter seasons? Or are you worried about that maybe your air system is not ready for the change of seasons? Well, give Jenkins a call to find out how you can save on your utility bills by fixing or replacing your current system. 609-641-6440 online at jenkinsandsons.com. We'll check back here on text for just a moment here on 973 ESPN 609-403-0973. Back to the Eagles' keys to the game. My second key to the game tonight is going to be, it's basically, and I know we said generally the line is where it starts to move. The second thing is, you look at the quarterback, and it's going to be which quarterback is getting the better rhythm. I think that we saw in a game on Sunday that Mac Jones, he had better wide receivers, would probably have had better stats and better numbers by the end. He had a lot of open shots. He had a lot of open opportunities to, basically put them in a position to win the game. Mac Jones did not have a bad game on Sunday. He just was playing with some mediocre receivers. Look, Juju Smith-Schuster is not what he used to be. Hennig is a nice, solid third or fourth receiver on the NFL team. And then you are basically getting Hunter Henry multiple opportunities to get open. I mean, according to the numbers, Hunter Henry is the number one tight end in fantasy football. Number one. And he's not even the most added player this week in fantasy football. We'll talk more fantasy football with Andy McNair tomorrow, but it just gives you an idea about, I don't think people appreciate what happened in that game. The Eagles are a very good defense, but they played a very poor game plan. And Mac Jones threw the ball 54 times. And of the 35 completions he had, you could argue he should have had 3 or 4 more completions by the end of that game. Mac Jones had 3 passing touchdowns this past Sunday. Why is that relevant? I'll tell you why. Because with those 3 passing touchdowns, Mac Jones has put himself to start the year among the best. He is tied for the most passing touchdowns in the NFL. He's 4th in passing yards right now coming into this game. We know what Kirk Cousins is capable of. And for all the jokes there are about Captain Kirk and all that stuff, the reality is that this dude, Kirk Cousins, is having one of the most ridiculous runs of an NFL player that I can remember. From 2015 to last year, Kirk Cousins has compiled 34,000 passing yards, 234 touchdowns. That's better than people who are in the Hall of Fame. We can joke about Kirk Cousins all we want, but the dude has put up some ridiculous regular season stats. Kirk Cousins has 22 fourth quarter comebacks in the NFL. He, in fact, led the NFL in fourth quarter comeback wins last year. I am not going for 1 minute look at the Vikings and say, yeah, the Vikings are 0-1. They're not a good football team. Kirk Cousins completed 75% of his passes last week. 75. Take that into your... So just because the Vikings lost 20-17 last week has nothing to do with Kirk Cousins. You complete 75% of your passes for 344 yards. You're still a pretty good quarterback. He's better than Mac Jones. And the Eagles got to be careful that they don't give him too many opportunities to pick them apart. Sean Desai cannot let Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense get in rhythm. And on the flip side, we all know that Jalen Hurts is a better, more efficient quarterback than what we saw last week. Jalen Hurts is not a guy who goes around fumbling the ball all the time. He's not a guy who lets the ball get turned over. And even on a okay day, Jalen Hurts still was 66% of his passes. So even on a not great day, Jalen was still making 2 out of his every 3 pass attempts. And that's not even on a great day for Jalen. You don't think that if he gets an opportunity to get in a rhythm against the Vikings defense, that it's not great. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. You don't think Jalen's going to go out there and have a good game potentially? Of course he can. I don't think for 1 minute that this game is going to be some like, oh man, poor Jalen, he's not going to be able to get points on the board. That's silliness. You accidentally got 25 points on the board against New England in the rain on the road. Now you're at home in front of your fans. So again, when you look at Jalen Hurts, there's no way he's going to have the same kind of game he did on Sunday. I just don't see it at all. But again, he's got to get in rhythm. And whatever team lets that quarterback get in rhythm is probably going to win this game. The Eagles defense has got to not let Kirk Cousins get comfortable in that pocket. And the Eagles offense has got to put Jalen in the best position to be successful. To me, it's that simple. And I think that what we overlook sometimes in a game like this is that we look at just the game on Sunday and project that forward. And I think the reality is that Jalen and Kirk Cousins are much more than the narrative has been made about them coming into this game. Listen, I didn't pick the over on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill here on 97.3 ESPN because I was being hopeful for a high-scoring game. I made that pick because I know that this game is probably going to be a bit of a shootout. Short week. Defenses are banged up for both teams. It's logical. It is the most likely outcome for this game. 609-403-0973. I keep checking online to see if the inactives for the game have been released yet. I haven't seen it officially yet. So as soon as, oh, by the way, Kevin Hart's at the game tonight. Of course he is. Kevin Hart's on the field yucking it up with people. Of course he is. Good for Kevin Hart. I mean, you know what? I love Eagle fans I think Eagle fans, football fans in general, are some of my favorite people in the world. They're passionate. They love sports. They care about their teams. Philly sports fans are great. But you know what? Celebrity sports fans, I don't dig it. Celebrity sports fan is the guy that conveniently is a fan. And I feel like, seeing Kevin Hart or seeing Matthew McConaughey or I don't know who, I mean, Bradley Cooper. Man, I mixed up my dudes with beards and brown hair. That was a horrible job by Bradley Cooper. When I see these guys, Will Smith, I see these guys at like a Eagles game or a Sixers game, I just come kind of like, I don't care. Like, congratulations, you're a sports fan. Now, the cooler thing is the picture that I saw from John McMullen on Twitter. The commissioner of the NFL is on the field chatting it up with Michael Vick before the game tonight. Now, that's way more interesting to me than Kevin Hart being on the field. Frankly, Kevin Hart should get off the field. I don't need Kevin Hart near my football team before the game starts. He may not have the Drake curse, but I don't want my celebrities near my pro athletes before a game. I'm just saying. I don't need my celebrities near my pro athletes before a game. You can hang out during the week. You can hang out at practice. You can meet the guys after the game. That's great. I don't need Kevin Hart on the field. Don't need it. Zero, absolute, nada interest. I'm still waiting for these inactives. Man, they're dragging this out. Let's get back to the text board. 609-403-0973. Andrew in Summers Point chimes in and says, so what you're saying about Jalen Hurts is he is due. I agree. Andrew in Summers Point. I just think that, when you see a guy play the way he did, it's not like Jalen had a bad day at the office. I think the fumble kind of is, think about it this way. You got a car, it runs great. It always works for you. Every time it turns on. And one day, it has a weird glitchy thing happen to it. Like a sensor goes off and you realize it's not really a problem. Or, it's like, oh man, I got to put air back in the tires. Or, this seat is not as comfortable as it used to be when I first bought this car because I've been sitting in it for so many miles. And you realize over time that the problem really isn't the car. The problem is your perception of the car. The car still turns on every day. Air conditioning is still ice cold in the summer. The heat's still great in the winter. The frost works. It always gets you to and from work, gets you wherever you need to go. But the perception is in that moment, man, that one frustrating element, it bothers you. I think it's the same thing when it comes to athletes. We sometimes focus on the negative way too much and don't factor in all the positives. Jalen Hurts last year was the NFL MVP runner-up. We tend to forget that sometimes when we analyze players. And this narrative out there that, man, is Jalen Hurts, maybe not playing as hard because he got paid. If you really believe that about Jalen Hurts, then everything that people have ever said about him and his work ethic and his belief in himself is completely false and a lie. And we should all hate Jalen Hurts because he's a phony. That's what you're basically saying, that Jalen Hurts is a fraud. I don't believe that at all for 1 minute. So I don't believe for 1 second that Jalen Hurts is all of a sudden just some reluctant guy to be a good football player. Through the first 5 games of last season, Jalen Hurts had 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and a 68% completion percentage. It's okay. Not great. It's okay. You know what he did from week 6 onward? The rest of the season after that slow start where he had 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in 5 games. the final 10 games of the year, he had 18 touchdown passes. Maybe Jalen Hurts is just a slow starter. Maybe he's just a guy that needs a few weeks under his belt to find himself. And I just think between Jalen Hurts finding himself against a solid, not great Vikings defense, and with Kirk Cousins on the other side, whichever of those quarterbacks gets in rhythm is going to be the guy who wins this game for their team. Because again, if the Eagles or the Vikings get their guy in rhythm, the offensive line gets all the blocking, they're able to take advantage of the other team's gaps in the scheme. The receivers make a couple good catches. Every good quarterback needs a receiver who makes a couple, above average to very good catch styles. The kind of catches that people like me could never make, right? It's the joke of you run into somebody who played high school sports, or maybe they played college sports, right? Why didn't you ever play in the NFL? And there's always some obvious thing, right? It's I'm too slow, I'm not good enough at the game, whatever it may be, right? Just because you're good at football and junior high and high school doesn't mean you can be good in college. Just because you're good in college doesn't mean you're good in the NFL. The pool of good players gets smaller and smaller as you go up the ranks. And, I feel like in every NFL game, the team that wins has a receiver that makes a big play. Every team has an opportunity to make a big play. And I think that's an important thing tonight. If Justin Jefferson has an amazing game, or TJ Hawkinson has an amazing game, or AJ Brown, or Devontae Smith, or Dallas Goedert, whoever it may be, typically the team that has the receiver with the big game is typically the team that wins. They had that big game because the quarterback got in rhythm. The quarterback was able to make plays. The quarterback was confident in the plays that they were making. All right, we'll check it back on the text board on the other side. 609-403-0973. That is the text board. Also, your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. All right, coming up next, I'll give you my official prediction for the Eagles game. I'll check in what your guys' predictions are on the text board, and I'll give you some props that I like for tonight's Eagles Vikings game. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and 97.3 ESPN mobile app. It's free, thanks to First Bank of Seattle.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. It's the home opener as the Eagles host the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday Night Football at the Link.
And the gun again is cut. Big chase. They've got him!
Eagles radio network coverage begins at 7 p.m. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 8:15. This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. 97.3 ESPN. South Jersey's Eagle Station.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every touchdown, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today, and you'll get $365 in bonus bets when you bet just $1. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be present in New Jersey. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code TRUST at checkout. That's harrys.com, code TRUST. Enjoy.
Next question. This place is known for its extraordinary financial services since 1902. Contestant 3?
Motion First Bank?
Oh, nice try. Sorry, everyone. The answer we were looking for is Ocean First Bank. Ocean First. But the good news is everyone goes home a winner with convenient access to deposit services, mortgage loans, business financing solutions, and digital banking options for business and personal accounts. Through local branches and online banking, your needs always come first at Ocean First Bank.
Now get 5.25% APY when you open a 6-month CD with at least $10,000 of new money to Ocean First. Learn more. Open yours with a local branch or at oceanfirst.com. Restrictions apply.
Equal housing lender, equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
Hi?
Afternoon. Atlantic City Electric here to install your new smart meter.
Did I order a new meter?
No, we're replacing old meters in South Jersey with new smart meters.
What's the catch?
No catch, just more insight and functionality.
Which means?
Soon, you'll have even more reliable electric service and new tools and programs to help you save energy and money.
Yep, that's smart. Learn more about smart meters at atlanticcityelectric.com/SEN.
The Balls Out Block Party featuring the Cheesesteak Egg Roll Bowl is on Saturday, September 30th at Resorts Casino Hotel. Witness the world's #1 professional eater, Joey Chestnut, as he competes for glory in Resort's first ever pro eating contest. The boardwalk will be active all day with a live band, beer stein hoisting contest, football toss challenge, and fun and games with 97.3 ESPN and more. The event is free, so head to the boardwalk and beach from 11:30 to 5:30 on Saturday, September 30th. Resorts Casino Hotel. One of a kind.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxitril, the explosive, all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxitril is so powerful, that's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitril free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitril dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-992-9470. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-992-9470. That's 800-992-9470.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Now for a limited time, it's buy one, get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday. Buy one, get one free and enjoy the sweet, delicate flavor of snowy white crab meat. Pair it with one of our handcrafted cocktails like the Stoli Vanilla Creamsicle or the Bourbon Peach Sweet Tea. Top it off with Chicky and Pete's world famous crab fries. Buy one, get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday for a limited time. Restrictions apply only at Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, and we are prouder than ever to partner with the Philadelphia Eagles. Chicky and Pete's has been named the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we continue to serve as the official caterer of both Eagles training camp and the official caterer of the First Trust Bank Club at Lincoln Financial Field. Go where the players go. The official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Now, more Night with Josh Hennig on 97.
Review of the Eagles-Vikings game tonight on 97.3 ESPN is being brought to you by Jenkins & Sons. Plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Is your home ready for the fall and winter seasons? Are you worried that your rooms aren't staying cool enough or they won't keep you warm in the winter? Just call Jenkins Plumbing and Heating today at 609-641-6440. to learn more about how you can get a new system from American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning or a Mitsubishi ductless system. Take advantage of financing of up to $15,000 from South Jersey Gas or Atlantic City Electric. Save more with rebates from these local utility companies. A new system can save you money on your utility bill. Just call me at 609-641-6440 and visit them online at jenkinsandson.com. Before we check on the text board one more time here on 97.3 ESPN, I want to give you guys a couple of props that I like for tonight's game. By the way, the inactives are out for the game, so let's get you some of the information on that. Let's see here. The Vikings, Christian Darrisaw is absolutely active for tonight's game. So they will have their left tackle. Really no one of real consequence is active for the Vikings tonight. It's basically just a couple of random players. I do think it's interesting that Andre Carter is inactive for this game. I kind of would have thought a guy like that. You would like an extra pass rusher out there. Maybe go after the quarterback. I guess for the Vikings, they think they're good enough. If Carter is active and if Carter is inactive, then they must feel pretty confident Marcus Davenport's ankle is good to go for this game. Darrisaw and uh, Darrisaw and Marcus Davenport are both playing tonight. For the Eagles, we already knew that Gainwell, Blankenship, and Bradbury ruled out for this game. The other players who are not playing in the game tonight, who are inactive, Moro Jomo, the defensive lineman, Tyler Steen, the offensive lineman, Tanner McKee, the number 3 quarterback, and the tight end they acquired, who is inactive now 2 weeks. Albert Bunam, the guy they acquired from the Denver Broncos. So, Bunam again not active, so it seems like they're hanging on to him. They could maybe be one day. Those are your official inactive for the game tonight. All right, let me give you guys some of the props that I like in the game tonight. I already told you guys I like the over 49 in the game. I told you guys earlier with Steven Ventnor chimed in with his score for the game. I thought that was good, 31-24. I thought that was a good one there. Anytime touchdown. Everybody loves the anytime touchdown number, right? You know, I like in this game an anytime touchdown for TJ Hawkinson. I do agree with Mike Gill and Danny Ryan on the Sports Bash about this earlier. TJ Hawkinson plus 255 anytime touchdown. I will say that what's interesting about this is, there's not great odds on the anytime touchdowns on the sports books tonight. So unless you feel really strongly about somebody like a DeAndre Swift or Rashad Penny, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, I wouldn't go out of my way to make any of those anytime touchdown deals. I got to say, I do like when it comes to the alternate passing yards, Kirk Cousins to go over 300 is plus 185. I tend to like that because, again, Kirk Cousins, this guy throws for basically 4,000 yards every single season. You don't get the 4,000 yards if you're throwing for 300 more often than not. When it comes to rushing yards, that's going to be dicey because I don't even know who's going to get the majority of the touches. So my instinct would be, let me see what the alternate receiving total is for DeAndre. I think DeAndre Swift catches some passes in this game because there's no Kenny Gainwell. I don't even see him listed. That's not good. There it is. DeAndre Swift's over-under on the receiving yards is 15.5. I found it. Yeah, give me the over on the DeAndre Swift receiving yards. I got a feeling that with no Gainwell, Swift is going to be probably the primary pass-catching running back out of the backfield. So give me the over 15.5 receiving yards for DeAndre Swift. Not rushing yards, receiving yards. Plus receiving and rushing yards. What is Swift at? 54.5. I could maybe see that as well. DeAndre Swift has scored 18 rushing touchdowns in his career, so I could see him getting it. What's his anytime touchdown number here? DeAndre Swift plus 160. I like that one too. I think Swift has a game tonight. I don't think the Vikings linebackers and safeties are that good, honestly. Andrew in Summers Point, his final score, Eagles 27-24. He says, I think it's a tight win. I heard the Phils were practicing bunting today on their day off. That's good, Andrew in Summers Point. I like that. That was good. Maybe Kevin Hart should go on the baseball field and give them some tips for that. Or is Kevin Hart too good to spend time with baseball players? Only shows up for football games. I can't. I'm not scared of Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart's probably shorter than I am. Does anyone actually know how tall Kevin Hart is? Like, his actual height, not like the thing listed online. The guy's got to be shorter than me. I mean, for goodness sake, Mike Wahlberg is about my height from what I understand. So, and I know he's taller than Kevin Hart. All right, I'm done. Sometimes it's just too easy. I got Eagles winning tonight 30-21. I think it'll be close in the first half, and the Eagles pull away in the second. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night here on 97.3 ESPN. Eagles Vikings coverage next.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio. We storm into Champaign, Illinois, where the Fighting Illini face 7th-ranked Penn State. It's their Big Ten openers.
Penn State, right now, that might be the most difficult offense to defend in the entire Big Ten.
Number 7 Penn State at Illinois. It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at noon.